Hello, welcome to DMP's Postscript. I'm your host, Riley McManus, and I'm here with Mitch Ringos, a DMP graduate. Today's show will be diving into Mitch's work and career, but first I want to ask you, Mitch, was digital media production and media career your first career choice?
I would say it wasn't my career choice at all.
Oh, okay.
But first of all, full circle, I interviewed you before when I took the course, and now you're here interviewing me.
So a little bit of switch of roles here, so we'll do our best.
But yeah, it was when I came out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I thought, hey, I'm an athletic guy. I played sports my whole life. Why not be a cop? You know,
Okay, yeah.
I like helping people. I always wanted to be a firefighter, but I was like, you know, I took the pre thing. I went through, and it was fun. They got to like push you around. They showed me cool stuff. So I took police foundations. All respect to police officers, but I hated it.
You hated it? Yeah, I feel like that would be hard.
It was a lot. You still help people, but it was a lot more to it.
Yeah.
So then after I took police foundations, my parents was like, well, you got to go back to school if you don't want to be a cop. So I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And at the time I was making YouTube videos.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
we'll see later, I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm excited for that. We got a few things lined up here.
So I started YouTube. I did like Twitch on and off. And at a certain point, I was just scrolling on the college's page because I know they had the film program.
Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't really want to go into film because I never saw myself as like a director for movies or anything. And then the digital media thing popped up, and I'm like, it said new course, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I got your attention.
So I went through the description, and it said right on it if you want to be a YouTube creator.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey,
This is perfect
I'm literally
for me.
doing this.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So yeah, I enrolled. I missed orientation because in police foundations, orientation was very boring, and I thought I don't need to go to it, but I missed a lot supposedly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to go into media at all, and especially like I'm in news right now, and I didn't ever think I'd be in news. I never even liked news.
Yeah, but it kind of found you, which is
It
good.
somehow found me.
Yeah, which is awesome.
So yeah, the digital media production. Obviously, I took pretty much the whole course with COVID, missed the last half semester. But coming in the first day, it was weird. I didn't know what I was going into. I just knew I liked cameras. I liked shooting YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And once we got here, then they're like, hey, you're going to be on air. You're going to be shooting interviews, commercials. You're going to be doing all this.
Editing and everything.
I didn't know that you could do this for a job. I can get paid for this.
Exactly. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? With saying that, let's jump into your promo that you did when you were a student there. Yeah, perfect.
Rationalize within myself.
Just recently went down to Toronto.
Woo. I don't think I've left school.
Like, for real.
Toronto?
It's not hard to do. We can all do milk bath shots with the boys.
Let's do milk bath shots with the boys.
But without volunteers, people won't get the help they need.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's super cool. I kind of like that I got to see you behind the camera there too, mixed with what you actually did. And then shows a whole example of like the editing, the directing, everything that you end up having to do. That's awesome.
Yeah, I tried, obviously we had to put a demo reel together to get a job, obviously. And a lot of people really focus theirs on specific things, but I didn't. Coming out of the course, I knew I was really good at a whole bunch of different things, but I didn't know what I really wanted to do. Like I know I liked editing, so I kind of tried focusing on that. But yeah, my demo reel was kind of an experience of throughout the years at DMP. That's what I kind of
and
wanted
everything
to do.
you've done. Yeah, it shows. That's awesome. That's super cool. Even like the transitions going in and out, like that's really cool. A lot more intense than what you're probably just doing on YouTube at the start, right? You learned so much more.
Spent a lot more time. It was weird. A lot of the things Steve said he liked when he watched it, he was like, oh, you timed out all like the cuts and like I put my finger down on beat and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was weird when I put it together. I put the music on and I just edited it, and then when I watched it back, everything was just timed perfectly, and I was like, I don't even have to cut this. This is really weird.
Yeah, no, fell again right in your lap like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's super cool. So is that something like, have you done any more promos of like, or, things of like all your work together or just?
I would say I did that was the only demo reel I've done so far. Because I sent that to when I was trying to go to Sportsnet, I sent that to them and they liked it. And they said, we'll give you the job. Obviously with COVID, that didn't really work out.
Yeah.
But the one thing I would change on it is right at the end, the curtains open, it goes white, and it says, take a break from gaming.
Yeah.
That was a PSA I did. I put it right at the end so people were watching and be like, was this whole thing a PSA for gaming?
Oh.
I was like, no. I didn't mean to do that.
I just put it in there. Yeah, no. You know what? I liked it too, even just for the fact of reminding you to get out and do things. Yeah, exactly.
But it was a good. I really like. I'll still use that demo reel forever because I think it shows my personality.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe not a certain skill, but yeah, it really shows my personality. And I had so much fun editing that, and everyone really had amazing demo reels at the end of the year.
At the end of it, yeah. Well, you know what? I heard that this other segment we have shows your personality. The drink segment.
Oh, the drinks. Okay, yeah.
I heard that shows a little bit of your personality. So why don't we go to that and let's see a little bit more of you.
Enjoy the video. First up, we're starting with the drink just because I might need it to drink throughout the video. So the drink we have is called Aloe Drink Vera. So this is what it looks like. So this says it has 0 calories, sugar-free, and also has no preservatives in it. It's 500 milliliters, and it's green. It's also warm, which I feel like is not going to help how it tastes. Presentation, I'll give it an 8. It looks pretty cool with the green, I'm not going to lie. Smell-wise, 10. That smells delicious, wow. I hope the taste matches up. Kristen's over there laughing, so I don't think it's going to. That tastes great. That tastes so good. 10.
Is there chunks in it? Did you get the chunks yet?
Ugh, why is there chunks?
That's the aloe vera. That's why I feel like you were gonna like it.
Okay, well it tastes good, but then there's chunkies in it, so I don't... We're gonna bring it down to an 8. Because I don't like the chunks. I'll probably try and avoid them. That was pretty good. If you're looking for a cool drink, get some aloe vera. Okay, so you can definitely rub this all over yourself to make yourself smooth.
I love the chunks. So you know what? I'm a picky eater too, and I've actually tried that before, and I kind of had the same reaction as you. Drink it, I'm like, oh, this is good, and then a chunk, and you're like, oh, what is this?
It's like orange juice with the pulp.
Yeah, like why do I have to chew my drink?
No, some people maybe that's their thing, but not for me. I guess not for you.
No, and I was laughing there when you said you could rub it all over you because that was one of the things I thought of because I have like a few aloe vera plants at home where I've broken them and then put it like all on you. But even then, they're not chunky inside, so they must really just actually
chop
cut
it up and put it in.
and stick it in.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. Have you tried any more like drinks like that? Have you done like a few like
I did
segments?
a few.
Yeah.
So I went to the it's I guess a free shout out, the Bulk Barn or Bulk Zone. I think it's Bulk Barn. So they sell a whole bunch of food from like across the world. So pretty much it was just after COVID and I didn't really have a job. Like I was still kind of working, but I thought, hey, I'm just going to create random media. And I had a podcast mucking with Mitch that I couldn't really do in my basement because I didn't want like guests coming over.
Yeah.
But I thought, hey, this would be pretty cool to do. Like I'm such a picky eater that I'll like a whole bunch of stuff, but I'll really hate stuff and people will laugh.
Yeah.
So I did like foods from across the world. I really liked the Pocky sticks. I tried those. Those were really good.
Yeah.
So some of the stuff I loved.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I
didn't
absolutely
like.
hated.
What was something that stood out that you didn't like at all?
What was a couple things? A lot of the drinks with the pulp, a lot of them had weird textures.
Yeah.
I had this like weird prunish thing. I forget what it was called.
It's like a
Turkish delight.
Oh, a Turkish delight.
I had a Turkish delight, and I thought it was chocolate.
Yeah.
And it was horrible.
No.
It tasted like a cranberry or something.
No.
It was like. It was weird.
That's weird. Do you remember the drinks? You used to sell them at the corner stores, and they were like, I don't know, like cream soda, but they had the red little dots inside of them.
The Jones?
It was kind of like a Jones.
But
but
were they smaller?
They were smaller, and they had like weird things that floated around in them. And as a kid, I thought it was so cool. But the same thing, my first time trying it, I finally got had $2 and went and bought it. And I think I almost threw up because it was like there's actually texture in your mouth.
I don't know if I know I had there's ones called Chubbies when you were a kid.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, I don't think those had
No, those are just like little mini pops
yeah.
almost. Yeah.
Well, I probably don't remember because I drank it and it scarred me.
And it scarred you, so you probably,
It's like I'm not doing that anymore.
No, that's perfect. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, that's that's something I definitely would be watching because I'm a picky eater and people think it's funny.
I know.
Too.
I only did a couple though. Like I have a thing where it's just like unless I'm like super stimulated and really like something, I'll just totally drop it.
Okay.
So I did 3 or 4 of them and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I stopped and I started streaming and I stopped streaming. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So it's I have trouble keeping interest in things.
Okay, yeah. So that's fair. Well, is the next segment that's coming up, it's about motocross. Some really cool shooting. Is that a passion of yours?
Yeah, this was I did a couple videography shoots. I was trying to like branch out into that market, and I had a friend who was a motocross rider, and I'm like, well, can I come film? Like that's really cool. So he let me, and it was awesome.
Okay, cool. Let's see that then.
They call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying it. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance. Now's my time and I won't hesitate. Now's our time and we are tempting fate. Now's our time and we won't hesitate. So come on.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that is super cool. I mean, I have such respect for people who can get on a motorcycle and just go.
I know.
Or motocross, I guess it would be for that one, either or. Because it's
hard. It's a hard sport.
Well, exactly.
One crash and
I was just gonna say that's kind of what happened to me. I used to have the confidence. My dad, like very much so, was into motorcycles and everything growing up, and I think he never had a son, so he wanted me to do it.
You were that son.
Yeah, and I was good at the start, and then one crash, and it was like, nope.
And it's over.
Yeah, I'm sober. Not getting back on that thing. I'll go on a quad with like a full face helmet.
Yeah.
And
even
body
quads
armor.
they can just tip. So.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
They're not. It's not a light sport. It's
No,
not
definitely
casual.
not. I was gonna say I don't know. There's probably not many people that have a broken bone from there.
Yeah, I know he's had a lot, and that course was in his backyard, so he
must
does
do
that
that
all the time, and he still even gets hurt. So.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's beautiful though. That property he has there too.
Yeah. He was so nice to let me come out too. He was just like he's a media creator too. Like he just does personal stuff.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, because I just bought a new gimbal, and he was like, do you want to come shoot at my house? And I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Be good because I could use it on. I used to have a website before like the VPN crashed or whatever.
Okay.
But I put all that on there as like part of my like I can do cinematic videography.
Yeah,
and stuff.
as well. Yeah. Which did you find that hard to shoot when everything's moving so quickly? It's kind of like you don't. Yeah.
It's a different style. So like for a lot of people, stationary shots zooming in. Like when I'm on the news now, they don't do. It's called like whip transition.
Okay,
so
yeah.
A lot of times what I was practicing, it's a new way of media that a lot of people don't do because it's very fast. But pretty much you'll be shooting something, and then if you know you're going into another shot, you'll whip right, and then that one will whip right, so it'll look like a transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tried doing that with the gimbal. And I've always loved shooting like fast-paced. Like I love jump cuts. I love fast-paced media. So shooting that was like super easy for me.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's cool. That's super cool, actually.
And I always overshoot. Like I shot all the shots you saw. I probably had like 40 more minutes of him riding.
Okay.
So I just.
And then you pick what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I always overshoot because if you undershoot and then you don't have enough, then
And
then you're screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
so-
That's a good tip to actually
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And do you do that lots even with, because you're working for Dougal Media now, right? And you were telling me earlier a little bit how you're kind of like a jack of all trades there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, for certain things, you don't really do that. Like on news, it's more of a harder cut. So
Okay.
you don't really do whip transitions, because for the news, you want to keep things very simple.
Yeah.
For the viewers at home, especially with like our scripts, we simplize them and not put big words for people.
Yeah.
But obviously, like if I did a motocross race, like I would probably get a couple of those shots in there. But you know, the thing about the news is it's very like hard set. But things like these are very creative, so I try and bring stuff like that into my newscast.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that shows my personality. That's what I'm hoping for.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Actually, that's such a good way of. It's good. The news every now and then needs a little pick me up too. Yeah.
Like if it's a harder news, like if someone died or it's like a criminal case, I'll just
Keep it
do
there.
the news.
Yeah, but if it's something
But
a
if
little
it's
bit
fun,
more, then why not add it in there?
Yeah.
No, that's super cool. And you used to do things, I believe, when you were still a student at DMP, Tech Tuesdays?
Tech Tuesdays, yeah.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about that. What kind of got you?
Yeah. So pretty much all the teachers here, all three, Mike, Steve, and Michelle, all told us that if you're just going to stick to the course material, you're not gonna progress.
Yeah.
So they pretty much said, with the course material, you need to make content outside of that every day. You need to be constantly creating if you want to make it in the industry.
Yeah.
So I thought, I like tech, and I've done tech reviews in the past, and with my friends here at the college, they were like, hey, we'll help you with the Tech Tuesday videos. We'll be in some of them.
Okay, cool.
And I think the one they're going to show, I went to Terry Fox Monument.
Yeah.
So that was, I've always loved the Terry Fox Monument. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and such
It
a
has
good
a lot of meaning
behind
so,
yeah.
So yeah, I was like, hey, I'll go shoot that. And it was, it was a Tech Tuesday, but I think it was just a vlog.
Okay.
So
look,
I just kind of did what I wanted.
You know, exactly. But you're still being creative, which
Yeah.
was the whole point.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at that then.
Welcome back to Tech Tuesday. This is episode 6, I believe. In today's episode, we are going to be doing a little photo shoot up at Terry Fox Monument. I just wanted to take some photos. So before we start, I kind of need some caffeine. So I'm going to go do that first. Oh, and there it is. Tim Hortons, if you want to sponsor me, I could use the help. So pretty much we're gonna go drive out there, get some nice shots, post it for my Instagram, and overall let's have a good time. So let's get into it. Just arrived at the spot. Quick little camera tip. If you don't have a suction cup, literally just put your tripod in between your seat. It worked for the ride here, I'm hoping. I don't know how the footage turned out. So let's stop wasting time because there's people staring at me. So let's go get some pictures. There's no one here. Let's get it. We're gonna get some sick pics, man. So, if anyone didn't know, this is the legend himself, Terry Fox. If you don't know anything about him, absolute legend. Raised a lot of money. Unfortunately, his run ended here, but wow, what a view.
Wow, this place is nice. Let's get some shots though and then get out of here because it's pretty freaking cold. Oh, sorry if this was a short ass video, but I can't feel my hands, okay? I got some good pics. Before I show you the pics, let's get back to my house. Because yeah, we need to get there. It's too cold. I'm dying at the moment. So let's go back. I just pulled over. I think I found the best picture here, honestly. I know the Terry Fox Monument is sick, but look at that. Look at all that ice. I'm gonna go run out there and get a pic of it. That was cold, but I think it's I think that might have been totally worth it. So let's actually go back to my house now. So overall, I think that mission, I guess, I would say it's a pretty good success. If you want to see the images, I'm gonna put them over in a second, but you should go check out my Instagram, which is right here. I'll be posting all the content that I create and updates on there, so make sure you go follow that. And without further ado, here are the images that I chose and edited to post on my Instagram. I ended up getting down and dirty in the snow for this one, so please drop a like for that. And I'll be back next Tuesday with a new video. So till next Tech Tuesday, peace.
Well, that was awesome. That was super, super, super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looked cold too, though.
It was freezing.
It was freezing.
Which, soon we're gonna be there.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. I'm like, oh no, the snow.
I know.
I don't want to shovel. I don't want to be cold.
No.
But those shots were really, like, even just to see Thunder Bay like that. I haven't been by the Terry Fox, like, at all. Like,
know,
probably in like
while.
years. So that kind of makes me want to go.
Yeah, you should go. It's honestly so nice when I always go there, and the view's always so beautiful.
Well, yeah, and such a good meaning and everything behind it too, right? So that's. I got to do that more. You know what? I'm going to do it before that snow
It's on the bucket
comes.
list now.
Yeah, it's on the bucket list now before that. Absolutely. And I saw at the very start there you had a cat.
Yeah, that's my cat, Jeff.
Jeff?
I named it after my name's Jeff. I named him after that, yeah. So he's a meme cat.
He's a meme cat.
He's scared of everything.
Oh.
But he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
He's a nice
that's awesome. And did you get him, like, is he like over COVID or?
No, I think he's like 8 now.
Oh, okay.
He
so
just
he's been
like
around.
lives in my basement now.
Yeah, he just lives in your basement.
He doesn't come
now.
around much.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that name. Jeff is hilarious.
I know,
That's very good. So do you, like, out of everything that we've kind of been shown today, is there one that you like the most, or a certain way and style of shooting that you like?
I don't know. I kind of just like creating everything. Like everything I've done, I've liked.
Yeah.
Like that one I loved because, well, obviously it was a school project, and I think I got a pretty good mark
Mark
on
in it, yeah, that
Hopefully,
matters.
Michelle, I hopefully did. Yeah, it was fun. Like everything you go to is completely different. Like that's how I try thinking of it. And a lot of people go into media comparing their last one or thinking about their future one, but you just got to like focus on whatever you're doing. Like I didn't have much skill back then. Like watching it now, I'm like, oh my God, I could literally make this 10 times better. But every time you go out, you just got to think this is your biggest shoot ever.
Yeah.
Just when you go out.
You keep that energy with that. Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's, you know, it shows in your work though. It really does.
The progression. You can see like I stop posting every once in a while, but it's fun to see my YouTube videos. You see the progression of me kind of slowly becoming more professional. I don't think I'm there yet, but
no, but you're still working. It's a work in progress always. And then now with you working like for Dougal Media and being in front of the news and being everything there, you're just only practicing more. Because you were saying you were going to go to Toronto.
Yes.
And that was for, was it Sport Tech?
Sportsnet, yeah.
Sportsnet.
So I had a almost in a Zoom interview lined up. Like I was emailing them. I showed them my demo reel. They said they really liked me. And I was going to do sports cutting because I thought I was just going to be an editor.
Yeah.
Because I was like on air when we went to Toronto for a visit. They were like, yeah, you got to have experience in small towns.
Okay,
like Thunder Bay. And I was like, I want to leave. Like I just wanted to get out.
You wanted to get out of here.
The big city fever. I was like, I'm just going to go. But then when COVID hit, they kind of ghosted me, which is not their fault because like a lot of people got laid off. So it's like they weren't, like no one's been looking for placement since COVID.
Yeah.
So I understand why, but yeah, obviously going from sports cutting to a news job has been very different.
Very different, yeah.
I never thought I liked news. I never even watched news before I started.
Yeah.
Not once.
You just kind of got thrown into it and then found that you actually liked it. Yeah.
Well, once I was starting there, I was like, well, I'm going to start watching the news now.
Yeah, I'm going to start watching and get it. And, you know, and bring your own personality, your own feel to it.
Yeah.
Which actually, we have one of your news pieces from since you've been started with Dougal. So I think we should take a look at that and then we'll come back and chat about it.
Awesome.
And live from the Rock Folk Festival presented Heavy Rotation, a 2-day outdoor concert held in 2 different locations featuring 8 unique acts. Mitchell Ringos reports.
Seasons are changing and this man must change too. You can fight it all you want, but you're gonna change too.
The 2-day event had 8 acts, with 4 playing at the Red Rock Marina and the other 4 playing at Mount Baldy ski area simultaneously. The concert featured artists like Rodney Brown, Gibson Martin and I, Olivia Corcola, and many more.
I said I'd win, and I was just getting ready to roll them again.
In addition to music, the 2 events had local food vendors, artists and festival merchandise, and even a campfire on site. With this being the second year the regular festival was canceled, live from the Rock Folk Festival chair, Laura Folds talked about why they decided to do a smaller split event this year.
So we kind of thought that it would afford us the opportunity to have people who wanted to come out and maybe, you know, have had some trepidation about getting back into live event attendance, to have lots of space and be really comfortable in the venue. So we went with 2 that are both outdoors, and there's lots of room for people to relax, listen to music. So that's kind of what we were thinking in doing the rotation.
Folds says that people often forget that most time events like these are how these artists make a living, and to finally be able to put on a show once again was a big relief. The artists also just love to be back up on stage in front of a real audience, as we talked to artists Jamie Smith and Cassidy Houston on how it felt to be back.
To be able to put something like this back on, you know, as live performers, we've been kind of chomping at the bit for a couple of years to get back out. So it's been an amazing couple of days for us to experience, and hopefully for the fans as well.
I really like that, you know, they really wanted to keep the people that are watching safe, and they tried to do it in the best way possible, but we got to experience the most out of how they decided to set this up.
Press down faster than a blue tick hound and smoother than the moonshine from my still.
And with the event only having 100 tickets per venue, it was more of an intimate concert, which the attendees said was an amazing experience, especially with both areas having a beautiful view.
We're chilling out before winter hits, and it's a great relaxing, everyday thing to do, so it's been fun.
And a wonderful weekend to pull this off, and certainly much needed after a couple years of not being able to attend these kind of events. So
Folds says even though this year's event was fantastic, she hopes that next year for the 20th anniversary, they can get back to their regular full capacity event. Mitchell Ringos, TBT News.
Oh, good to see you in a different light there. Yeah, so that's, now when was that like filmed and everything compared to when you started there? Was that like one of the first ones?
So this is actually one of my newest ones.
Okay, yeah.
So one of my first ones, I didn't put it in just because like it wasn't that good.
Yeah, no, yeah. Because I was gonna say that was awesome.
I've been working on it, and Like we were talking about the creativity factor, I'm starting to bring that into my stand-ups. Like I was sitting in the big chair at the end.
Yeah.
Because we're actually at work, there's 4 of us in a competition for whoever has the best stand-up by the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
They get 3 coffees from everyone else.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the person, Danielle, I work with, she's winning because she did a stand-up with an eagle on her arm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I've been trying everything to beat her.
Yeah,
it's very hard.
Yeah, an eagle on the arm would definitely be, that's going to be hard to top for sure. But that's, I like that, bringing your own personality into it too, and not saying like the news sometimes can be stagnant a little bit.
Yep.
So to add something like that in that gives a little bit of a smile.
And I'm like one of the newer guys, so I don't get the top hard reporting stories.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I get the fun. You get to go to stories. But yeah, the news is it's very different from any media I've ever done. It's super different. And over the time, I've found that I actually really like it, and then I'm getting better at it. It's just like I've had to work on like the way my voice goes up and down. Like octaves only go up when they're like, you're supposed to talk about something important.
Yeah.
And then if you just keep bringing your octaves up and down, you're just going to sound weird.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
It's a lot of learning curve, and there's a lot of people who are there, been there 20 years who've been teaching me. So.
Well, that's amazing because then you get that kind of like guidance going. But people don't realize that when you get thrown in front of a camera, a microphone in your face, you got to say this.
I know.
Sometimes last minute, which I feel can happen to some people.
Yeah, fair.
But you start thinking, and you're like, what does my voice sound like? I'm flicking this pen around? Am I doing this? And you kind of realize these things that you didn't realize about yourself before. Then you see yourself on TV. Like, how does that feel?
It feels good. Like, obviously Thunder Bay is a smaller market, but I still sometimes get recognized. Like, I was going shopping at Walmart, and some girl was like, "Hey, you're on the weather," because they throw me into the weather too. Okay. So I do weathers on Thursday, and it's like, "Oh my God, you're from the weather. You're Mitchell, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
Nice
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, that's fun.
Yeah.
And do you see yourself on TV? It's kind of like, oh,
yeah,
I'm doing good.
But for me now, it's like, I love seeing myself on TV, but from like a creative perspective, I'm always a perfectionist on myself.
Yeah.
So I watch it back, and I'm like, I could have done this better, or I could have done this better. I don't like how I framed this.
Yeah.
But in the news, you can't be too picky because you're on a deadline.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. You only have till 6.
Okay. And so how does that work? And kind of explain that. So like when you get a story, you guys go out, report it, and then you have to come back, edit it, everything before 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So it's like 9:30. Well, like 9:30. Like on weekends, I work by myself because I'm the weekend guy, so I do everything myself.
Okay.
But usually, you come in at 9:30. You're assigned a couple stories. You have certain times to go out.
Yeah.
And then if it's a VO clip, which just means there's an interview with some B-roll, or if it's a report where there's like 2 or 3 interviews, then you have to do a stand-up, and then you have to voice it yourself.
Oh, geez.
So usually I get like 3 stories, 2 to 3 stories a day. And sometimes, like the other day, I recorded this thing and it corrupted, so we had to like recover it, and then pretty much I didn't get the footage back till 30 minutes before we went to air, and I had to do the whole report. So I've never typed faster, I've never read faster, and I got it done with like 30 seconds left.
That's like the adrenaline rush there would be. That's
I was just stressed.
Oh, 100%.
I was like, it's not coming in, and then I got it in. I'm like, okay, I did it, I guess.
Yeah, and then
wasn't the best, but
but you still got it there, and it made it on the news. That's awesome. Yeah, you know what I was, because I mean, you definitely had deadlines and stuff when you were in school, but that crunch.
Yeah, and it's different, especially with like the weather, because I've always looked at the anchors as the hardest job.
Yeah.
Because they're the head of the station.
Yeah.
But they have a prompter they read off. They still like write all their own scripts. They do their leads and everything. It's still a very hard job. But with the weather, I always thought you were reading off something.
Yeah.
But you just improvise.
Oh, really?
So pretty much you just have to memorize everything. So I go up at like 5. I'll do all the slides for the weather, change the dates, and then pretty much write little notes. There's a snowstorm that's going to be happening in Vancouver, if there's going to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever's going on.
It's a lot more nerve-wracking because
and you're in front of a green screen, right? Like, so you have.
Oh, we have a screen, luckily.
Oh, you do have a screen. Oh, okay. Because I was going to say that would even be a little bit harder.
With the green screen, I'd be screwed.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
Just be like floating over here, pointing over there. Yeah.
It's weird because people like call me the weatherman, and a lot of people at my work saying that like it's honestly better to be a weatherman because people like bigger markets will see that and be like, hey, you don't need a prompter.
Exactly.
You can just talk.
Yeah. And everyone checks in on the weather.
Yeah.
Everyone does. So at one point or another, someone's going to be seeing your face on there. Yeah. No, that's
hard,
awesome.
Though. It's different. I've never thought I'd be a weather person.
Yeah.
So I'm not even that good at geography. So that doesn't help.
Well, I mean, thank goodness it's just on the back and you can point at it and kind of know better.
Worst case, I'm just like, Vancouver's 12.
Yeah.
Prince George, 13.
13.
Thanks for the weather.
Back to you.
Back to you, yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So in all, would you say you're happy with like where you are, with what you're doing, and you're feeling creative and everything like that?
I would say I'm more than happy. Like, I've quit every job that I've not liked pretty fast. So this is the first time I'm actually excited to go to work every day.
Okay.
But I still want to go to a bigger market eventually. I'm going to stay here for like 3 years, I'm thinking, and then if there is a chance to move out, who knows? But I could even stay longer. I don't know where the cards will take me by then.
Yeah.
But I want to continue. I like the news, so I see myself sticking in that for a little bit.
That's perfect. And you know what? I think you should, because everything you showed me today has been awesome. We got to see a nice little clip there of you. We're back.
We're back.
Yeah. Little modeling there, which was very cool.
I use one of those for my headshots. We need headshots for work now.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, everyone just has phone pictures. I'm like, well,
I got something a little bit better.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't take them though. It was Carson Tunsey. They're all in Vancouver now, but
okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good photographer. Yeah.
And I'm so glad I got to chat with you about it.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And I like how we switched roles here this time.
Yeah, you were a great host.
Yeah, thank you. It was a little bit different, a little nerve-wracking, but yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm so proud of you being a graduate and continuing on with your successes.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was good to see you.